Says initialize, and it looks like it's moving really slow.
It says meeting is now streaming live on YouTube, so.
Okay.
So hopefully that's a good thing.
Okay, there it goes. It just popped up. So we're good to go. All right, this meeting. Okay, got it. Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome. As you can see, I'm Ronita. I'm a Purposeful Point, and I teach paint parties. And let's go ahead and jump right in. I grabbed my flat brush. I like my flat brush. Grab the largest one that I have to cover my background, which is usually for you guys, maybe a 1/2 or 3/4 inch flat brush. So my example here is on 11 by 14, but I'm actually going to be painting on as I liked it smaller. So I'm going to, fill my canvas with the window box. I'm going to be painting on 8 by 10. And so like I told the ladies, I am going to paint I have white and black on my palette right now, and I'm going to paint my background. I'm starting with white. I'm going to cover it with white, and then I'm going to dip my brush in the black and kind of blend it in and give it a grayish background is how I'm going to start it. Okay. So I put my white on there. I'm going to put a little corner of black on my tip of my brush so that I don't want a lot of it. See that?
So the whole thing's going to be gray?
My background's I'm starting with gray.
Okay.
And I'm starting with, like I said, black and white. And I'm mixing it on the palette, on the canvas, not on my palette. Because I like the effects that it gives it. So, and if you get too dark, you can always lighten it up with some white. And I like to start just a little lightly with the black, because you can't go back if it's too much black, but if you add a little bit gradually, then that'll work better. So, and it's just how, basically you're looking at it. I want my window. You're thinking about what shade to your window's going to be. That's what I'm working on with my background. Hey, Beth. Oh, she's not in. Hey, Beth.
Anita, missed you. Great to see. Wait, I'm not up. Oh, I have to start my video.
I'm going in the shower.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How you feeling? There you are.
I'm feeling better. Thank you so much. Yes. Okay. Have fun. This is so nice. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. How's your
No
grandson?
baseball. Yeah, they're great. They're in Spain. They're in Spain and it's raining. So either way, there would be no baseball tonight.
Oh, okay.
But he's pretty serious. Am I supposed to be painting something?
We are painting our background gray, which is just black. I added white to my canvas, and then I put a little dab of black in there and kind of blended it in to give it a little gray tone. And our focus really with the gray tone, because on the outside, we're going to paint over it. But my focus is just to get a window color. And then even after we paint the window, we could probably kind of add more to it to make it, look like a window.
Did you
So
say
right
black or black and water?
Just black and white. Right now, I'm just going back over what I did. I just wet my brush just to make sure. Did not a lot of paint in it, just wet it. The water helps to blend it, and then I'm finished.
Oh, you're painting on wet? You wet the background? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I just wet my brush a little bit after I covered my canvas with the black and white. I'll just wet it.
But you're not going to the edge, right?
Like my original, I did not go to the edge. I used 11 by 14. The one that I'm painting now is an 8 by 10, and I did go to the edge because it's smaller.
Let's see, where we go. The 9 by 12.
So I have stopped swiping because I'm letting it. It's not going to matter when we add our black, but go ahead and we can start letting it dry a little bit. And it's just a background. Don't worry about putting too much paint for your background.
Do you think we need a blow dryer?
It's up to you. I try to make, because everybody doesn't have one. When I do the paintings, I try to be conscious of that and just kind of move around and let something dry. So now I'm going to paint my window box, and I'm going to use black. So it's not going to affect much by putting that black on top of the white.
Right, that's good.
So now I'm switching to my black. Well, I already had black on here, so. But I am sticking with my flat brush. You guys know I still like that flat brush. I like the thickness that it gives, and also more paint on my brush. You guys can see that I do that. Or if you're, some people like to be particular about it, and you might want to go to a pointer brush to paint these lines for your window. But I stick with my flat brush and go from there. Line across, and I'm going to basically paint a rectangle. Right, I did the rectangle. I haven't put the bottom. I came up. That's going to be the lip of your box right here. Right. And then there's the bottom of my box. And guys, it's not exact, and that's okay. It's definitely going to look like it was hand painted. I'm okay with that, because it was hand painted. You guys, I'm going back over my lines because like I said, I like the thick And if you want a thin window seal, that's fine. I like mine's a little bit thicker, so I'm going back over top to and give it that thickness. Okay, that's my outline of my box. You can see I got a little bit of a seal, a lip for my window box. And I am going to go ahead and add my panes to it. Okay. That one, I won't put a second line because I want to leave it looking kind of thin. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint my box here. As you can see, it looks like it's not a solid black. So I'm going to start at this end and drag my brush across, my flat brush, and just drag it across there. And kind of want to give it like a, well, this one got kind of dark, but it's not solid. And you can see here, it was a lot lighter here, but I didn't want it to be totally solid. So whatever, don't fill it in. I just took one swipe, leave it that way, so it'll give it a grainy look. So it looks kind of solid to you guys, but for me, it was a lot of black paint in there, so it's a little bit darker. But you don't want to have a lot of paint. I don't want it to be solid, or if you want it to be solid, you can, but that's the technique that I was going for, not for it to be solid, but have a grainy look, kind of like the wood grain. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wash that black out of my brush. I'm actually done with that. We might put a little bit of color in the windows later, but for right now, we're getting ready to switch over to our colors. What colors are we going to use for our flowers? I'm going to grab my pale pink. I'm going to start with the pale pink. And I'm going to go down to a smaller brush as well. This or that, this or that.
Okay.
I started a new job at the with the school system, and I took because I don't have a computer yet, I took my tablet and I left my charger there. So I'm hoping that we can make it through the night.
Me too. Talk fast.
Right.
You can talk fast, but the paint doesn't dry fast enough.
What happened was I did get a new charger because that one had a short in it. So I had the old charger and I was like, oh, I can't find my old charger. And I just found it. I was sitting here and I looked over and there it was. So let's hope that it'll
Do its thing.
Yes, I mean, it works, but it's like, you know, I have to move the cord around and hope that it stays in. So I just put it up and the light is on. It says it's charging, so we might have been saved. So, okay, next, I'm gonna start adding my, hopefully that, you know, you guys stop swiping and let that paint dry just a little bit. So
What?
Where's the pink supposed to go?
the pink is gonna be, I'm getting ready to make flowers.
Ah, okay.
I'm
But what
trying
about,
to decide what.
we see pink all around your black. I do.
Oh, well, let's work on that. That's gonna be red. Let me grab red.
Well, I'm not telling you what to do, but I thought that's what you were, okay.
It
Red.
was, I was distracted by that plug. And so that way, if we add the red around, then it'll give it time
Black
to dry on the
checks.
inside of the window. So let's do that. Grab your red or a brick color or whatever color you want your house to be. So I grabbed a red, but it's called vermilion red. So it's a little bit, you guys can see it's not like a bright red. It's more closer, it reminds me of a brick. But I have vermilion red, but you can use whatever works best for you as far as color, because you might not have vermilion. I grabbed vermilion and I've never used it. It's like, okay, well, let me start using these colors that I hardly ever use. And so I am going to go back to my larger brush. Wet that a little bit. And again, you can see my example. It's not going to be, I'm not going to make it solid, but I'm going to put thin layer all around. Again, doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to be solid. It's just, I got a little bit of black in mine, so you don't have to repeat what I do on that one. And needed to, I could just take a paper towel and wipe that black off there, but I'm okay with it. Okay. Of course, I'm just going to go both sides.
Why is that light on?
And yeah, I'm just going to grab both sides. One side looks a little bit darker than the other. I'm not going to worry about putting multiple coats on there, guys, because again, we just want one thin layer. And it's not even. Some of the paint is a little bit thinner or darker. So it's what makes it kind of whimsical. It doesn't have to be solid, but again, if the solid works better for you, that's fine as well. You're making it your own, your idea. I'm just kind of explaining to you guys how I achieved what you see on the painting. So now, give you guys a couple minutes. I'm not sure how big your, I have a smaller canvas, so I can kind of move a little bit quicker. I'm not sure. Okay, so now I'm ready for my pink, I think. And one of the also reasons that I like to the lighter background for my flowers in my window, so that that pink will show up very well. So I'm gonna show you my technique, and basically I'm just gonna do.
Renata, can you just hold up your original a lot closer for 1 second so I can see the flowers, please?
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. Perfect.
Mhm.
Now I have an idea of like what.
Yeah, and so this I pretty much they're all the same. The flowers and the leaves, it's all the same. My same technique. And so this, I'm not sure what size this brush is, but it's kind of flat. It's a little bit bigger than a pointer brush. And I just touched the brush to the canvas, and I'm going back and forth, one to the left, one to the right, one to the left, one to the right, until I need to dip my paint again. So I'm going to get in close so you guys can see what I mean and what I'm doing. So I'm just touching it, one on the left side, one on the right side, just going back and forth like that. So it's not exact. It's kind of messy, and it's like kind of hard for me to do it upside down as well. So let me put this back. And so it's not exact. They look kind of messy, but it's okay. Because again, that's what kind of makes it cute. And right now, the one that I'm working on is kind of straight up and down. And I kind of don't want that on. I did that one, not all of them like that. So this one, I'll do one over here, and I'll kind of curve it a little bit just so it won't look so uniform. I don't want it to look uniform, guys. And I'm just put the paint on there, and I'm just basically touching my brush, not lightly. It's a heavy touch, touching my brush left to right, and they don't have to meet. They don't have to be even, any of that stuff. Can you guys see that? And then here I did put a little bit of some bushels there down here, but I'm going to wait on that because my black is still a little wet on my box. And so I'm going to do this on my box to get, because that paint is still kind of heavy there. But if I go across and get rid of some of it, that'll help it dry up quicker. But I'm trying to stay in the window until the black dries at the bottom.
We're getting good water in.
So and I try to mix it up. I've done 2 flowers with the pink. I'm gonna switch over and see what I like with some purple. Same technique.
Ah,
What happened?
Now you can continue on with all the colors, choose a handful of colors. I did get kind of colorful. I'm gonna choose one more color, see what I like about that one. And the one I have, I believe is like a coral color.
Are all the flowers the same?
Yes, all the flowers are the same. I did put a few at the bottom here that are kind of bunched up a little bit, but for most part, the longer ones, I did make those pretty much the same.
Okay.
I did put a couple bunches like right on top of the box, but yes. So I'm gonna stick with these 3 colors. But again, I did more than 3, and you guys are definitely welcome to go with those as many colors as you like. But the flowers are pretty much all the same. And then we'll of course add green at the end. It'll bring it all together.
That pink or orange?
The second one is like a coral color. It's actually called bright salmon, and it's a Deco Art brand you can buy in the store. But I love it. And so a lot of times these Deco Art paints, not all of them, are pretty opaque. And so that's what I like. It'll, show up on top of black, even with a dark base. Sometimes I love that aspect about it. So. And so some of the bunches that I have, like at the right on top of the box, I just kind of made circles with it. And then I'll come back on with the white to give it more definition. Okay. I'm letting you guys add your multiple colors because now I am ready to add green, our greenery.
That's it? We're done with the flowers?
I'm done with my flowers.
Are you gonna use the yellow like you did in the painting?
I can, but the thing about the yellow, you have to make sure that your paint, if I put that yellow on top, I have to make sure that my paint is dry. And I'm sure when I was doing it, my paint was dry. Let me see what it looks like if I throw some yellow on there.
I had to put it on very thick. It'll take it forever to dry.
Right, and the paint is kind of thick because of the way we put it on there. And when I was painting an example, of course, you know, I had my blow dryer. But let me see what it looks like if I put yellow on top, because my yellow was, you know what? I put my yellow on after I put my greenery on. So I'm going to save that. So now I'm going to add my green. Then my yellow flowers will be the last thing that I add. And the way I did my green was exactly the way that I did my the flowers. The same technique. And see that this paint is a lot thinner. And it's deco art as well. So that's the thing about the certain colors. I guess, I don't know. They just turn out better. So I'm bringing some of those, that green down into the box. So it looks like, you know, it's hanging off. It's hanging down. I'm bringing it all the way down. So it looks like it's hanging. So that's pretty neat. Right here.
Well,
So you guys, I know everyone is pretty much close to retirement. They don't really have like school age kids, but is everybody ready for school?
I'm gonna ask you when it starts. It starts here soon.
Right. It's right around the corner.
So what's your new job gonna be?
Actually, I'm a clerk in the office.
That's nice. You get to see everybody a little bit.
Right. I get to see the kids, but I don't have to actually be in the room. So
That's
that's
good.
definitely a bonus for me.
Are your kids in this school?
Not this particular school, no. So my youngest one, he's going into the 10th grade. They start school. Well, he starts school next Wednesday. My oldest one, he starts school the 22nd, but we drop him off at school on the 16th. He is on his way. Big college student.
Wow.
Oh, wow, exciting.
I know, I'm so excited.
Where is he going?
University of Kentucky.
Nice.
That's great.
I met some ladies laying at a pool in Fort Lauderdale, and they started talking about the Kentucky Derby. So of course I said, wait, do you know my friend Ronita? I gave them your zip codes. They weren't in your zip code.
Okay.
We were talking about all those horses that died.
I know. I can't.
And we were
believe it was
talking
so
about that.
many.
My cousins were here visiting, and somehow that conversation came up, and this lady next to me said, well, I live in Kentucky. And I thought, what are the odds of that? So,
Yeah, it's wow, what's going on?
Of course, I'm up here in Massachusetts and we don't start school here. I don't have school age kids or anything, but we don't start school. When I was younger, we didn't start until after Labor Day. It was usually the Wednesday after Labor Day. So you only went 3 days a week that first week just to kind of get you going.
that's how it is in New York.
Because it's the heat down there, you guys have to get out so much earlier than we do. We don't, the schools here don't get out till June. And then they go back to September.
In like 15 minutes, everything okay?
Yeah, my sister in California, that they don't go back to school until after Labor Day. So a lot of times when we do our family vacations, we have to wait until the girls are out of school just to schedule those.
Right. Yeah, because I remember a friend of mine had cousins from North Carolina, and they went back to school in August, and we were just all August. But that's our real summer now. Like right now, it was really too hot. It's gotten much better, but it was like Florida weather here, where it would rain in the afternoon, it wouldn't cool down at all. It was crazy. Our electric bill, my boyfriend had a fit, was $588 last month.
Oh my Lord.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Not a happy camper. And we used to think it was good in the summer. In the winter, we would get killed with the electric bill. And I just put propane in, and I got 100 gallons, which gives us barely a half a tank for $385.
Wow.
And in the summer, it's only used for hot water. And in the winter, though, so.
I think, well, in the wintertime, mine is close to $500. But I think the reason that they decided on the times for the school and how it plays out, a lot of times it had to do with harvesting and when the crops were ready and so on and so forth. And that's what they based a lot of the schools times on. And probably they were talking about it on the news that our school system here in Kentucky, we haven't had a major change with the school system in over 50 years. Wow. I'm like, really? That's amazing. It's ridiculous. It's amazing. So, and that's how it played out for us.
That makes sense. The other thing was daylight savings time, the big talk about changing it back and all that stuff. Because in the winter, when it's fall back, spring ahead. So fall back, the kids sometimes are standing out at the bus stops and it's pitch black, which is very dangerous. So that's one of the big concerns about that here. But my boyfriend's from Maine, and they used to get excused from school to help harvest the potatoes.
Exactly.
But the potatoes come from Idaho.
Maine potatoes, girly, Maine.
Are they good? I'll have to try potato. I don't know.
We have
potatoes come from Prince Edward Island.
Yeah,
not in Canada.
And the food from Maine are these big, humongous baked potatoes that are stuffed with everything at the fair.
Oh, that sounds yummy.
It sounds delicious.
It is. Rhode Island is stuffed quahogs, which is clams. And Vermont has something with maple syrup. And Massachusetts does the clam chowder.
All delicious.
I'm
Yeah.
hungry.
I know, right? Now, guys, we're gonna, I'm gonna put a little bit of highlights on my flowers. So I'm gonna dip my brush in white, and I am going to a fine tip brush. So you don't have to do every bud, but I'm gonna go in. I'm dipping it in my white paint, just the tip. I'm gonna get in close and let you guys see that I'm just gonna go in and put a little bit of a white line on there. Can you guys see how it just kind of gives it? And not all the ones are gonna have it, but you can kind of see how it gives it dimension just by doing that. How it brings the flowers
Put
out.
up a
Some of the
notch.
petals, yes. And so that's all I did, just a little thin brush, a pointer brush, a smaller one. And just, even if you did a bit bigger pointer brush, as long as that tip has just got that paint on there. And I'm gonna do that with all of my buds. And I'm also gonna do it on my leaves as well. And again, not all of them, just kind of, I'm just jumping around a little bit to give it a little bit of dimension. And the thing about it is, because it's just a tip of paint on your paintbrush, because my paint's not dry. It's not quite dry, especially my green. My buds are probably dry, but my green's not. So if you want, you can just concentrate on your buds and save your green for last. I'm gonna go back up here. That's what I did. It just raises it right off the canvas when you add that little bit. And after I do those buds, I'm going to work on how I have bunches of flowers here and try to make, show you guys how I define those to make them, bring them off as well. So it doesn't look like just a flat bunch. It kind of give it a little bit of dimension. And again, it doesn't have to be exact. Oh, guys, it looks like I'm freezing up. My
You're good for me. You're not frozen for me.
You look okay to me.
okay. It's charging. I'm fine with that, but it did look like it's freezing up a little bit.
We can see you.
Okay, we're good. I'm gonna, I wanted to show you, I'm just kind of, I'll make little half circles in the section where I maybe put bunches in there. So it kind of looks more like rounded flowers. And no particular direction on when I make those seeds. I just go forwards and backwards in there. And this kind of gives it some kind of like a bunch of flowers. Okay, that's how I did those bunches. Now I want to throw some add a little bit to my greenery. And then my yellows is going to be just on top. I didn't add anything, any white to my yellow. I just kind of threw that on top. So we'll see how that works out. Because the thing about it is, you know, by the time you throw that yellow in different places, I try to put it in areas that look like it was a little bit drier so that because it's yellow, it's not as opaque, it's more transparent, that it would work better. Diane, how's your son? Did you recently have a grandbaby?
No. Not that I know of.
Give him a call.
Don't worry, I didn't have any dreams about fish. You should be okay.
Okay.
You guys heard of that? Oh, that wise tale about a dream about fish?
No. Yeah.
What is that?
Oh, when people have a dream about fish, it means someone's pregnant.
Wow.
Diane?
No, I'm not. I have a son who's going to get married.
Okay. You know what? I am thinking about Mary. Did Mary just have a grandbaby?
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yes, Mary. Okay.
Well, that's nice.
My grandbaby just turned 18.
18. Wow.
So next year I told her we'll go out and we'll go tasting wine at a winery when she's legally allowed. So we went to the movies for her birthday day. And then she was like, oh my gosh, that guy behind the counter is so cute. She says, but I wonder if he has a girlfriend. Because if he has a girlfriend, I won't do anything. But I wonder if he has one. So I went, do you want me to go ask? She went, you wouldn't dare. I went, apparently he did not. And he was okay with her talking to him. So they traded phone numbers.
Oh, cool. Maybe
You're a matchmaker.
you'll have a grandbaby soon.
Great grandbaby then.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Oh my
I'll ask
goodness.
her how it's going. You didn't think her grandma was cool enough to do that. I thought it was cute too. So, and he was working, and he was very nice to me because
Yeah.
everybody wanted a different order and kept changing it, and I had to try to pay for it and get my stupid cell phone to bring up the card for the thingy, and this technology crap just doesn't always work.
Guys, while these dry, before I put that yellow in there, I want to kind of put some texture in my windows.
Mhm.
So let's see what we can do with that. Actually, I'm using just white paint because it's kind of gray. So I'm hoping that that white kind of stands out and just put a little texture in there. I'm kind of like zigzagging, you know, just kind of like that.
Let me see. Oh, I see how you're zigzagging.
Okay.
Yeah, just zigzag back and forth.
I'm running late. With the white, you just touched all around with a little touch with the white in the first place?
And on the buds, I just
Yeah.
touched. Yeah, basically, I put a little bit of a white line, just a little touch with I have a really thin brush, just a little bit. I'll get in close so you can see just a little bit.
Mine looks like, what is it, Seurat is the pointillism guy?
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Right.
This is an impressionist painting.
It's what it is, and it shall be what it shall be.
No doubt.
A little white.
Now my original, I put a little bit of gray and then put the white, but I kind of like it with just the white in there, just so that it's not flat. You can use a little bit of black and white to give it something, but just so we don't want it to be flat. And now if yours is darker, that white will really pop. It'll look good, but mine's is a little bit more pale, but that's fine. All right, and now I am ready to add my yellow. So now the white on top, that might not be like totally dry, but yellow and white, that's okay. And my yellow is just to make my flowers, I just kind of painted a circle. And I just kind of try to get in there where maybe something wasn't there. Almost like well, sometimes it was in between, sometimes it's on top. That's why I wanted to do it last, because we're just on top of all the colors and such. Of course, you know, if you're in the bottom with the box, it's going to be with that darker base. The flower will be darker. But when you go up top, and you're on top of one of the pinks or the gray area, of course, it'll be more pale. Oh. And I'm looking, I want to balance it. I want to make it look sense, make it make sense, I guess I should say. And those, the yellow flowers are my finishing touch. And although they're kind of flat, we didn't put a lot of dimension to the flower, but for some reason, it just still works. It still works without adding the dimension.
Yours looks very pretty.
Yeah, it does.
You guys know everything looks better on camera, so
Oh, yeah.
just wait till you see yours on camera.
Or the next morning. For sure. It's something about, you come out the next day and you go, oh.
And then,
Dried better than you thought.
yeah, and it gives you step away from it. That helps a lot.
Yep.
Yellow.
All right, ladies, as we finish up, I'm going to go ahead and end it for the YouTube followers and say, enjoy. Let me know if you have any questions. Please send me pictures. I would love to see your pictures if you're on YouTube and you finish that. So good night, and I will see you when I